Hey everybody, today I'm going to do some live coding on my implementation of a Zulip widget. And today's live coding is all about execution. I'm going to talk about some things other than what I'm working on. But Zulip has this little component in its top left corner that I'm trying to re-implement. And all the ideas are already in my head. I think people who have never programmed computers might underestimate like how much of a creative profession it is. Like you're really like creating this idea in your head, just like somebody who's writing a novel has this idea of the story in their head, but they still have to execute it. They still have to write the story. People working in like entertainment professions, they have this idea of how the show should work, but they have to execute it. And execution can be difficult sometimes, and sometimes it's just a matter of getting down to it. So that's what I'm going to try to do. And you can see that I'm already procrastinating because execution sometimes isn't the most fun part of doing something creative. Um, but it's important. So let's make sure that my current state of the code is fine. So what I did here is I ran the TypeScript compiler using my project configuration in tsconfig.json, and then ran a Python web server. And if I run the browser against that, you can see that I have a relatively decent implementation of the top left corner of Zulip, which is what I'm trying to emulate here. And I can click on various things um, and see that I have some real functionality here. But what I'm trying to do today is build up an API where I can traverse the widgets within the panel. And I can already do this for all messages, traverse its widgets, and like go to, for example, the unread count and say style. Go to its element. You can see it's already focusing on that. I'm going to say style. Background. Whoops. Let's use orange. not the most beautiful color in the world, but there I go. So I have this API, and I need to retrofit the API from my all messages component to some other components. I'm going to open up my all messages component, and you can see here that I have this widgets thing. So then I'm going to open up conversations component. So I have a widget for that too. Let me verify that. And I can't seem to be able to type today. I'm going to give this a background of, how about cyan? Cyan's always like, okay, so there I go. So what's the next? Let's open up mentions. I don't think I've fixed mentions yet. I have. Okay, so let's see mentions. And again, my typing is terrible. How about pink? Good. So let's open up star messages. Okay, so here we have no widgets. We have no widgets. If I try to open up panel.starred, panel.widgets.starred messages. So I do have an LI here, but I don't have any way to get to the the unread count or the v dot icon. So I'm just literally just going to crib this off of the other component. And I do have an unread count. I do have a v dot icon. And I certainly have a main link. My typing today is really terrible. And again, I'll just crib off for the other one. And I think I need to do one more thing. Yeah. Okay, so now I need to run the compiler again. And if the compiler succeeds, that will launch the web server. Again, I'm doing things that are like fairly rote here, so it's all about execution. And sometimes execution's tedious. But now, if I do start messages dot widgets, I can get to the unread count. I can get the element, and I can say the style, background equals. I want to come up with another good color. There's some nice built-in CSS colors. How about crimson? And it works. And if I set the unreads, you can see that it's now it's a crimson. I obviously wouldn't choose that color in this particular mode. Crimson is not particularly amenable to visibility here. Now I just check my diff. And I commit and push. Then I run prettier. I see what my diff is here. Okay, apparently I didn't violate any style conventions of prettier. And so I'm done. So if you've been listening to me up until now, thank you for your time. Basically, all I've done is I made it so that there's an API on panel.widgets.starred messages where I can traverse to the specific elements and then like apply a style to them or something. All right, thanks. Bye.